Tiffany Finley and Julie Harris. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
It's so great to be here in beautiful Somerset.
Well, we love having you here.
Before we get started, you're the executive director of Master Musicians Festival. And Julie, you're the president of the board of directors?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I studied that on the way here. So yeah, I was like, please don't mess that up. But what an exciting year for Master Musicians Festival, what an exciting year for Somerset, and it's just an honor to be here. And we're in the beautiful Virginia Theater, by the way, that recently opened, and it's one of the most beautiful theaters in the country, I should say. So congratulations on the success and all the great things happening, Julie and Tiff. So let me start with this. Before we get to the festival and the lineup and all that, let's start with the basic about this area of Kentucky. What is it about this community that is so special, Tiff? Because it is special. The people here, like yourselves and the community, Somerset and this county, it has something special in the people. What is it?
I would just say what is special is the people. I mean, everyone is so prideful of where they come from, and that has just gotten better over the years. You know, I grew up here, and it was not always that way, but there's so much wonderful things happening as of late, and you can just see the whole community is just very excited about it.
Yeah. What about you, Julie? Do you have something to add about the people?
I would agree. I mean, I think it's our people. I think lately they've been given encouragement and support to show that pride, to showcase that pride, whether that be through outdoor art projects or this theater or music or business, commerce. Everything is being celebrated here, and everybody has a reason to be proud because we have so many great things that are now happening in this community. So yeah, I mean, I think it really is the people and the way that they're sharing our story.
And the leadership, I would say, like for the first time in a long time, we just have all of our leaders on the same page, whether that be city, county, economic development, tourism. Everyone is cheering each other on and working together to make things grow.
And transitioning a little bit to the arts. I mean, we've talked about this before off camera and everything, but the Kentucky music is it was like a hidden thing that like now it's out into the open, right? Like everybody knows. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Just like, you know, you are part of the bluegrass state music scene, which is one of the best in the world now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely come to light a lot more with acts like Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson, but we've always had a rich music scene in Kentucky, and what makes it so special is that those people are just authentic. They're authentically Kentucky, authentically country. They're not country because they say they're country and they drive a truck and they do all these things, but they're country because that's the way they grew up and that's the way they live.
Why do you think they kept like that, you know, other people in other states, when they grow, maybe they forget a little bit about their home state, they move somewhere else. But here, whether it's Tyler or Brit Taylor or whoever, they keep those Kentucky values. They keep their homes here. Like, what is it? What is it about Kentucky?
Again, I think it goes back to pride. I mean, no matter where you come from in this state, everybody has such a deep sense of pride to be a Kentuckian. Whether that's because you are a UK basketball fan and you followed it your whole life, or whether it's because you grew up listening to Loretta Lynn. There's something about this state. It's really hard to put to words. It's a beautiful state. It is so rich in natural resources, in character and culture and arts and history. I mean, there's just so much to enjoy when you come to Kentucky, and to be from here just makes it that much more special. So I think with Kentucky musicians, particularly because we have that rich history, I think they have something to be proud of, and they want to showcase that.
It's great. And Tiff, you know, it's the 30th anniversary of Master Musicians Festival. It's unbelievable. How did it start? How did Master Musicians Festival start?
So I was only 14 when it started, so I can't say for sure, but I do know that there was a group of people in our community that really wanted to bring arts and culture to this town where it wasn't available. You know, people had to drive to Lexington, and really back then, probably not even Lexington, it was more like Cincinnati and Nashville. Cincinnati, grab a hotel room, pay for a concert ticket to even experience what we're bringing here.
Yeah.
And so we call them our forefathers, or the OGs of MMF. They saw that opportunity to be able to expose the people in this community to that life for a price that they could afford, because who can afford to go do all that, especially back in 1994.
And Julie, affordability, that's one. I mean, this festival is magical in so many ways, but one of the great things is you're getting a lineup that in other festivals is $700 even, in here for a very affordable price. We've talked about this before, how that's possible, but if you don't mind just kind of like talking to us again about it.
Thanks to our community and the way it gets behind us with sponsorships, because we are a nonprofit organization. We work really hard to keep that price low so that people can afford to experience this outstanding music. But our community really does get behind our cause, our mission, and we could not do it without them. So every year we're working to bring those sponsorship dollars in to help us bring these musicians to Somerset and bring this experience to folks so we can keep those prices low.
Yeah, it's amazing. But Tiff, 30 years, I mean, I don't want to brush that off, because festivals come and go. I see it all the time. It's not many festivals that last more than 10 years. Why do you think MMF has been able to weather, all kinds of geopolitical events, recessions, pandemics, the whole 9 yards? What is it?
I mean, we definitely had years where we get worried, so I wouldn't say that it's all been rainbow and sunshine, but I will say that our community keeps it going. It's such a prideful thing now, and I just think that we're just kind of its shepherds for a little while right now, and later on we'll be those older people enjoying the festival and seeing the younger people out there putting it on, but just our whole community gets involved. So whether that's like I've talked to you about before, the football team, the roller derby team, the Rotary, the young professionals, we have everyone playing their part. So if they can't give money, guess what? They come out and give a bunch of time to make it happen. So everything you see when you come on Festival Field is something our community is contributing to make it happen.
Julie, let's pivot to this year's lineup, this historical lineup. First of all, Wynonna Judd, she's selling out arenas all over the country for 2 years now. So we have her as the headliner. You have incredible up-and-comers like Brit, you have Nicholas Jamerson, you have brother Smith. I'm sure I'm forgetting. Yeah, Nappy Roots. I mean, what from an overview, what's been the reaction and everything about this lineup this year?
People are super excited. I will say that I think that this is probably, I've been involved with the festival to some degree for the last 10 years, I guess, and this is the most diverse, eclectic lineup we've ever had. I mean, it is really, really awesome, full of rich talent.
Kentuckians.
And 99% Kentucky, which makes it super special. And in fact, those two artists that aren't technically from Kentucky, we're just fostering them in, because they have connections to Kentucky.
Kentucky music is so fantastic that that hadn't even of course, that hadn't even occurred to me. You guys have such a deep well to pull from.
I think it's, especially I've been thinking a lot about Wynonna and how she sort of represents the best of Kentucky's history in music and kind of Kentucky's rebirth in the Americana world. She's had a little bit of both. She was incredibly successful as a country musician with her mother. Now she is a completely different artist, I think she would say, and enjoying performing with the Brandi Carlisles of the world. And so I'm just excited to see her perform, and I think it really is truly a very Kentucky celebration to have her there, and sort of a celebration of what Kentucky is enjoying in terms of excellence in music right now.
Yeah, and I think, if I may add, the generational aspect of it, same with our festival going on for 30 years, we're gonna have mothers and daughters that grew up, and sons. My brother was a huge Judd's fan because of my mother listening to it. And I remember, because we lived out in the country, and we would put that on our drive, 15 miles out of the city to drive home after school, and to be able to have all that generation be excited. And now 90s country is just back, right? It's kind of like a hip thing. So now we have the younger folks too. So I just think you're going to see a lot of generations out there, which is what you already see at MMF. As we've spoke before about Julie's dad being on the board of the festival when she was a kid, and me going when I was 14, to the punk stage. It's just got a rich history.
Just as we wrap up, tell me a little bit about one of the coolest things about MMF. I was thinking about this, is you guys, Jason Isbell, Morgan Wade, and a bunch of people that that are now selling out stadiums or playing some of the major festivals in the world. And you guys have a knack of just getting them just a year and a half right before they break, and it's an opportunity to see them in this beautiful intimate setting. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, we just keep our thumb on the pulse of what's going on. We attend things like Americana Fest, where I met you last year, and we know we have to be able to get them whenever they're like that, whenever they're up and coming. Because of our budget, we are a nonprofit. So, we don't just throw anyone up there. We do our research, and we make sure that we are getting them before they break.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Julie, if you don't mind just telling us how to get tickets at the website and
mastermusiciansfestival.org. There's a little green purchase tickets button right up top, and that'll get you where you need to be.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies. I think that'll do it.